In this video, I want to give a brief overview of ternary operators and hope that if you don't understand them, or maybe they're just a bit confusing for you to follow along with, that it'll kind of help clear it up, because I think this is one of those things where once you start, understanding them, you may want to heavily start using them because they can really clean up your code quite a bit more than you'd think. So anyways, here I just have a basic example. Let me go ahead and give you a run through of it so you can kind of follow along a little better. So I guess ultimately I don't really need to even set this, just to keep it nice and short. So we have two classes, example 1 and example 2. Now example 2 has this function called getMessage, and our goal is we go from example 1, we want to print the message of example 2. So this is, again, just an example to kind of show you a use case. So what we do is we create an object of example 1, or a pointer to an object of example 1. Then we want to try to print out get example 2 message. So we're calling this function here. So basically we have an if else statement that we want to replace with a ternary operator. So then I just have a simple function here to go ahead and set example 2. So that way we can kind of go between the if and the else statement here. So to give you a quick rundown of how it works right now, or the result, that's always annoying. So when we first run it, example 2 not valid, because right here we are not setting example 2. Now if I go ahead and set example 2, we will print out this is example 2's message. So we're running this portion here because example 2 is valid. So let's go ahead and replace it with a ternary operator. And I'll leave this down here just for the sake of reference. So because we are returning a constant char, what we want to do is treat it kind of in the same manner. So we return, and then here we put our conditions. So you can think of it the exact same as an if else. So we have 1, our condition. So our condition is example 2. We want example 2 to be valid. So example 2 with a question mark. So this is basically asking, hey, is example 2 valid? And if it is, we want to return example 2's get message, like so. Now, how do we tell if example 2 is not valid? Or what do we want to do if it's that case? That can be expressed via colon, like so. So in this case, we want to return example 2 not valid. And that's the end of it. So we have our condition. We want to have, if it is true, we return get message from example 2. If it is false, we return example 2 not valid. And then that'll work in the exact same manner and all cleaned up on one line. So let's go ahead and give this a try. As you can see, we're not setting example 2 and we're printing out example 2 not valid. Now if I go ahead and set example 2, here we can see this is example 2's message. So we are in fact having our if else being expressed via a ternary operator. Now I'd imagine these both behind the scenes compile to the exact same thing, so it's not really much of a difference. This is just more, I guess you could say, for keeping your code a little bit cleaner or making it a little bit easier to read and follow along with. So as you can see, everything works and functions in the exact same manner. We just reduce it down to one simple line. So that is going to be all for this video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below. And if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to join my Discord that's also linked down below, and I'll try to help you out. So I'll see you in the next one.